All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another Chaos Zero Nightmare video. Today, I wanted to go ahead and take a look at Haru. They went ahead and revealed her kit. I want to go ahead and break it down and give you my thoughts and opinions on this combatant in particular. So I do hope you enjoyed today's video. If you do, drop a like, sub if you're new, join the FBG fam. I would love to have you stick around. With that also being said, I did want to quickly plug that I will be going live tonight as the game officially releases. I'm going to go live about an hour early with my boy Chaotic to talk about the game. We're going to just discuss it, hang out before the servers go live, and then when it does go live, obviously we're going to hop in. We're going to go ahead and do some gameplay. I'm going to build up characters, and we're really going to be testing a lot of things. Hopefully pull Haru early, and then we can test her out and see how good she really is. But with that being said, let's go ahead and break down her kit. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on this character. Let me know if you're going to be pulling. I'm also, towards the middle/end of this video, give you some advice when it comes to Hadu. Now, massive shout out to Pride Win. I'm gonna go ahead and have this linked in the description down below for you. Go ahead and check them out, give them some support. They do have some information here in regards to her. Now, this might not all be 100% accurate, you know, take this all with a grain of salt. There might be some changes when the game officially releases, or there might be some translation issues here, but nonetheless, I believe for the most part this is going to be pretty accurate. She's going to be Justice and she's going to be Striker, so keep that in mind. She does seem to be very single target focused. From what I've read so far, because I did look into her kit, from what I've read so far, Hadu seems to be more of like a single target nuker almost, where she wants to target one enemy and just do a lot of damage towards that enemy depending on like your team build. That's kind of the gist of what I'm getting from this character. But let's take a look at her cards. So she has Anchor, deal 100% damage, and then she has Power Anchor, deal 220% damage for 2 costs. So pretty standard right there. Anchor drop for 1 cost, gonna gain 100% shield, once again pretty standard. And then for 2 costs, Anchor shot, this is gonna be her bread and butter right here. Pulverize, deal 240% damage, increase damage by 60% for each use of this card up to 5 times. So you can stack this and this can get pretty beefy and start to hit pretty hard. Obviously you can see this is gonna be like your main card. Now of course we don't have any of the real like epiphanies. We're gonna have to see that in game to see the card cost, what type of different variations we're going to get, because things, from what I can see, things could get pretty nutty when it comes to Hadu. Now for the unique cards, we got Anchor Pointer, add Anchor Shot from your deck, or discard pile to your hand. This is massive, right? Because it could have been just from the deck, but it being also from your graveyard is huge. And obviously this is going to be for your Anchor Shot, once again your bread and butter card. This is what's going to allow you to get those stacks, because you can use the 0 cost Anchor Pointer to pull another Anchor Shot. You can do Anchor Shot, use hopefully you have Anchor Pointer in your hand, use Anchor Pointer to then get Anchor Shot once again. So that's going to be huge, right, as type of the play that you want to make. Now Power Charge, deal 180% damage to all enemies, so we got an AoE here. If targeting a single enemy, damage plus 80%, so you're going to be doing more damage if it's just a single enemy that you're hitting, but it is AoE, so we got a bit of AoE there. Charge Energy for 1 cost, for 1 turn, increase your attack card damage by 30% and it retains. This is going to be really nice, right? Because you're going to be able to obviously buff yourself up. Now, in terms of increase your attack card damage by 30%, whether this applies to Haru herself or the team is yet to be seen. I'm not too sure, right? Once again, translation, it could be for the whole team. If so, that's huge. If it's just for her, it's still good, right? Because it's a nice buff for herself. Once again, we'll have to wait and see. Now, Lift Anchor, 0 cost, which is nice for 1 turn. Anchor Shoot card in your hand costs +1 energy but deal 70% more damage. And I think that I believe they meant to say Anchor Shot there. For 1 turn, Anchor Shot cards in your hand cost +1. Oh, so what they're saying is that the Anchor Shot, once again I think they mean Anchor Shot, is only going to cost 1 instead of 2 energy but deal 70% more damage. Is that what they're referring to? Right? But they're saying but deals 70% more damage, which makes it sound like it's going to cost 3 but do more damage. I'm not entirely too sure on this one, but if it's only costs 1 and deals an additional 70% more damage on top of how many buffs you already have on this is going to be incredibly hard. And this is kind of where you see the nuking aspect coming into play. And then that synergy between Anchor Pointer and Anchor Shot is going to be really nice. Once again, have to see how that is in game. We'll take a look at that and get more clarification once we pull her and use her. Moving over to the Ego skill, it's going to be a 6 cost, which is the highest, if I'm not mistaken, out of all Ego skills. Deals 350% damage, increased damage by 50% for each buff currently held. So each buff that you have, you're gonna increase your damage by 50%. This can get pretty nutty, and again, the nuking aspect of Haru is there, where you can really buff her up, you know, get a lot of buffs, and then be able to nuke that single target enemy, because it doesn't appear to be AoE. Once again, single target. So if you do like an anchor shot to pointer to anchor shot, and then the ego skill, like, and you already have buffs on you, it's going to be huge, right? And then we're going to take a look at teams that are going to be pretty good with Haru that you can try out. So I like Haru overall, just taking a look at her cards just in general. I do like what she's bringing to the table. That single target nuking aspect is going to be really nice to go through the roguelike, to really nuke those elites down. It's going to be nice in those bosses. I think Haru's going to be pretty strong, right? I think she's going to be pretty strong at the onset, and we'll have to see how she holds her value, but I think she'll be able to hold her value pretty well moving into, you know, later game and as the game progresses in general. So we'll have to wait and see. Now we have potentials here, but we're not really going to go over that, and we do have some egos, but once again, not really anything filled out. So we'll wait until she releases. We're definitely going to test her out and see what she's all about. Moving over to the team building aspect of Haru, or they have mechanics here, which is actually, I like that they do this, and I hope the devs continue to do this for future characters that come out. Anchor shot becomes more powerful each time it's used, and you can maximize the effect by pairing it with anchor point, which we just talked about, which moves anchor shot to your hand. Upon reaching maximum stacks, you can use quick lift card to increase damage further. Do we have quick lift here? I don't think so. Huh? Is that lift anchor? I wonder. It could be, right? Is that? No, that's power charge. That quick, yeah, I think that is quick lift. It could be. Once again, translations. If that's the case, that's awesome. The quick lift card increases both cost and damage. Okay, there's the clarification. So it does increase the cost at 3, but it also increases the damage. I'm pretty sure that's what that's saying. You can let me know in the comments down below. To use anchor shot multiple times in battle, try cycling through cards for faster draws, or keep anchor point in your hand. Once again, it's a retain card, which is really nice. So this one's a retain card, charge energy, and then the lift anchor is a retain card. Unfortunately, anchor pointer is not, but you can retain these, hold on to these, and be able to use them, which is interesting because you can buff your damage insanely. So you can use charge energy, you can use lift anchor, so you can hold on to these until you have that perfect setup. Use it if you have enough action points, or AP, which we're going to talk about team builds here that can be pretty good, and then just be able to nuke the field. That's going to be insane if you have max stacks. Yeah, Haru's going to hit really hard. The power charge card can handle multiple enemies, but it's more effective against single target. So it is an AoE card, but they're saying you can use it more effectively as like a single target, which is interesting. Haru's going to hit really hard. She really is. Once you get everything in place, and that's where she becomes like the main damage dealer for you, like the main DPS, and you just really hyper focus on her and then get everything set up and then you execute. Yeah, it's gonna be a nuke. It's absolutely gonna be a nuke. Now, recommender synergies. So this is where we're gonna talk about some team builds here, which once again, I like that they're doing this. This is really awesome here. So action point gain, matching attribute synergy. So the Haru Mika combo, this is gonna be incredibly strong, because once again, Mika's going to provide AP, so you can get those setups easier. It's going to be more comfy, right? And then she's also going to provide healing, which is going to be really nice. So Mika, I think, is going to be very, very good with Haru, almost like a best partner with her, and because of the same attribute, it's going to be really nice. And then Barrel is going to be great because this is going to be a hard-hitting setup, with Mika providing the AP, keeping you alive, and then Barrel and Haru being able to do massive damage. It's going to be a very, very good synergy here. And then the same attribute is going to be really nice against enemies that are weak to justice. This team's going to absolutely wipe. It's going to be really nice. So I like that setup. The action point gain synergy with celestial cards. So you have the Haru Mika Khalip setup. This is good because Khalip is going to be able to provide good shield, Mika with the healing and the AP. Khalip's going to be able to do some damage herself, but once again, you're going to be splitting it up, like depending on who you want to be able to do the damage, because Khalip's cards, they can cost a lot depending on which ones you're using, but she does have a lot of nice AoE as well. So this is going to be a pretty interesting synergy. Not one that I'm the most fond of, right? I prefer this setup right here up top. But this one's, you know, if you have it, this is a more expensive team too, because Khalid being a 5-star, Hadu being a 5-star. So, but if you have it, go with it. It'll work. It'll definitely work. And then this one down here is one that I'm really loving. The card cost reduction, fast deck cycling, and then the buffing they forgot to put. So Hadu, Nia is going to be able to provide those buffs, right? So that you're going to be able to do more damage with your ego skill. Nia is also going to be able to do some pretty good damage. Also be able to cycle some cards. And then Cassius being able to access those cards very quickly for you as well. Be able to do some decent damage himself. This combo is going to be really, really nice, right? I like this setup. I think this setup is going to be really good. Now, what you could also do, just as a like another alternative, and one that I would be looking into, is a Mika Nia setup with Hadu. I think that hyper buffing Hadu and making sure she has enough AP for everything that she wants to do, I think is going to be a really good team to look into. Not to mention, once again, the attribute synergy with Mika and Hadu. Or you could even do Mika Cassius, right, if you want to. It just really depends. But I think that Mika Nia setup, it's going to be really, really solid, right? Or you could even put, if you need a shielder, you could throw a Maribel on there. If you need to, Maribel can slot in somewhere around here. What other characters could we use just to take a quick look? Nia, you could also do a Magna. Like if you want to do a mono justice team and you want to have a shielder that does counterattack, be able to do some good damage yourself, Magna is going to be a pretty good option. I think that's going to work. Once again, Maribel, I think is going to be solid there. You could throw Ray. That's going to be, you know, now we're digging at the bottom of the barrel. But Ray for buffing the basic, you know, card damage, she might be able to work. Those are like probably the most suitable options. But overall, I think Hadu's going to be good. I think she's going to hit incredibly hard. I think she's going to do a lot of damage in the beginning. And I think she's going to be a solid 5-star, a great addition for the first 5-star of the game. I think she looks great design wise as well. I think her animations look incredible. Now, here's the thing. She is going to go into the standard banner. So if you're a free-to-play player, you might want to skip Hadu and wait for the next limited banner to come up and be able to pull for them. So save your pulls for that. And then just use whatever currency that you get, you know, standard currency, and just use it on the standard banner and see if you get it from there. That's an option that you can go with, right? And maybe one that you would want to implement as a strategy to be able to make sure you're getting the most out of your premium currency. Do I think Hadu is going to be like a necessity? I don't think so. For example, there are other hard-hitting nukers that you can take advantage of. I would see who you get in the beginning, like out of the standard banner pulls with the discount that you're getting. Like go ahead and see who you pull and then maybe make a decision from there, or save your standard banner pulls and then just wait till Hadu goes in there and then go for it and see if you get lucky. It's completely up to you. Now, if you absolutely love Hadu, then go for it. I'm going to be going for it, once again, just as a content creator, wanting to get every character, to be able to build them up, test them out, and give you my overall thoughts and opinions on them. But first impressions, I think Hadu is going to be very strong. How she holds her value, we'll have to wait and see. But upon release, I think she's going to be great. But as a free-to-play player with her going into the standard pool, I think you should save and wait for the next limited character, whoever that might be. But anyways, let me know your thoughts. Once again, let me know your opinions down in the comments below, and let me know what you're going to be doing. I'm interested to see what you guys have to say, and I hope to see you at the live stream later, just depending on when you're seeing this video, later tonight. Thank you guys so much for all the support. I'll see you all in the next one. Remember to stand out, be different, have fun, go further beyond in everything that you do. My name's Cody. Call me further. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.